Hi there, my name's Sophie Williams. I'm an aspiring tech artist, and this is the second in my series of videos talking about the MaxScripts that I've been creating recently in my work. This one is called QuickMove, fairly self-explanatory. It was created to help me with this project of a destructible wall. As you can see, I've got a lot of geometry in here, a lot of different objects. The idea of this project is that this wall wouldn't look like it was destructible, but then you'd walk up to it and you could break it. So it had to have seamless swap almost from whole to destroyed, which meant I ended up having high polys and low polys of both each of these rocks whole and each of them broken, sometimes up to 6 or 7 pieces, which meant that maneuvering them became quite difficult. Each of these was made in ZBrush and then brought across to 3ds Max to position and animate. And obviously positioning each of these was going to be a nightmare if I had to move the sometimes 9 different pieces together at the same time. So I created the script to make that a little bit more manageable. Item I selected, I can explain it a little bit more. So if we grab, as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of these broken pieces. Which would be quite difficult to move. Say if I wanted to rotate this slightly to make it sit better on its pile of rocks and the one beneath it. Normally rotating all of these at once, or trying to make sure you've got hold of them all, or say you moved it exactly how you want it, but then you realise you've forgotten part of the rock, it would be a little bit difficult, so I created this. It has the reset X form as well in it, just in case, because you need to be doing that a lot when you're moving all of these different things at once. But the main feature of this are these moving the pivot buttons. So I can center the pivot of each of these objects to its own center, which is quite useful. But the main thing it's useful for is if I grab a collection of all of these different broken pieces, I can center the pivot to the selection center rather than the individual objects center, which makes this a lot easier because all of these now have exactly the same pivot point. So if I rotate one slightly, catch the other one up to it, it's not a big deal. But the main feature is that means moving them becomes a lot easier because these now all have a central pivot point. If I grab this rock as the target move rock, and I select all of these, move them, they'll sit on top of it absolutely perfectly now because they all have the same center, and that center will be in line with its pivot center as well. The other feature of this is that you can select another object's pivot. So if we have this broken rock here and I want to give it the same pivot as this, I can select that object as my desired pivot, replace pivot, and now this object's pivot is over here, which seems quite unusual, but what it allows you to do is to select all of the broken rocks and give them the pivot of the corresponding unbroken rock, therefore they're all in tandem with each other when you're moving them about, and indeed when you want to come to bake them. It's the main advantages of this one.